Okay, am I audible now? I guess it was on mute. Sorry. So let's just start again. Okay. Yeah. Hi everyone, Harsh this side, and today we are going to talk about Recon. So who am I, and why I am here to deliver this topic to you? Currently, I'm working as security engineer at Security Innovation. Buckroud, top 200 researcher, all-time Science Red Team member. I have authored two books on hacking. You can read the name over here. And sometimes I like write blogs about whatever finding I do, or maybe related to some stuff which might help people into infosec. And I'm a lifelong learner, as you all are. So okay, so these are some of the social media handles. I am like by purpose showing them into to the very initial phase, so that you can just, because I know that people leave at the end when it comes to the finish. So yes, you can just follow me on Twitter. I am most active on Twitter and Medium. You can just read my blogs over there. If you have any queries, you can mail me as well. I am available through all these channels. Okay, so let me first get you through the agenda. So like what we are going to cover, or at least see about. So Recon 101 is the demystifying the Recon process, what other people might be telling you about Recon and what my perspective is. I really want to shrink it down to narrow it down to the purposeful recon, because recon has a huge scope and I really don't want to jump into that huge scope, but I really want to be limited to something which is really helpful and useful for people. Then we will see how we can do effective recon with Google Doc or some other search engine docs. Then we will see the GitHub docs and recon with GitHub. I guess many people have issues with GitHub recon, so just purposely put this topic to the begin. Then recon with Internet as a Thing search engine like Shodan or Census or Fofa.so. Then recon with web applications like MX Toolbox and Spice and some other applications. Then we will see that how we can automate the complete recon process with the tools. Hey SK, there might be some issues from your end, I guess, because other people are able to hear me. So if other people are having issues, we can just I can just try to troubleshoot from my end. Then we will see that how we can automate most of our recon with the tools, and then we will automate like Git recon, content discovery. Now once we have all the recon things that we really need, like maybe subdomains, maybe the links from the link finder, we will use some one liner bash one liner scripts we can that make like on the go to make things more automated and more faster. Okay, then I will tell you how you can like so recon is basically reconnaissance enumeration, so it's a short form. So recon is really cool, reconnaissance is sometimes hard to pronounce, so we all call it recon. Okay, so setting up cloud and doing recon while you are sleeping. So this is something I usually do. I put all my recon process over Google Cloud and it do all the job for me, no internet consumption from my end, and when I wake up I have all the targets scanned, right? Yeah, my mic is on escape. Then the wrapping up and the end notes. So let's get started. So Recon 101. Let's first understand what the recon is, why we need recon. So just covering up these two topics first. Recon is basically knowing whatever you can about your target, right? So for example, there is a program on Bugcrowd which says, I have everything in scope. Now, if you read this word everywhere, I have everything in scope, right? You can actually do like you can find out what are the subsidiaries of that particular target, what are the subdomains of that particular target. You can go search the IP ranges, you can go and search the JavaScript file for more domains, right? On the other hand, if you see and program which a program which says like, okay, only this particular domain is in scope, then your recon is narrowed down. You cannot do and check subdomains, you cannot go and check the subsidiaries, right? So throughout this complete process, we are going to talk about like a program. We will assume a program, or we might pick a random program from Bugcrowd or HackerOne, and we will see that when everything is in scope, what all things, cool things we can do, right? So recon is basically about finding as much as information you can to build your attack surface. So attack surface is something the different places where you can go and test, not as a bug bounty hunter only, but as a security researcher or maybe as an attacker itself. Right? Now, why you need recon? a simple short story why you need recon is that you need to increase your attack surface. So for example, there is a program called dell.com or maybe stackpath or something. Now these programs are on the in the market on the bug crowd from last couple of years, right? Like around 3 years or four years, right? How you are supposed to, as a beginner, go and start hunting on them and hope to not find a duplicate. Dell says everything is in scope. Stackpath says everything is in scope. Now, this is where the recon comes in, and the good recon you will do, the more new target, the more new attack vectors and assets you will find, the more new assets you will find, the better you have chance to get into some good bounties or some valid accepted bugs. Okay, so on this point, telling you a simple story, I started bug hunting again into February 2020. Okay, and for like till April, middle of April 2020, I was just having some only like 7 or 8 accepted bugs, only duplicates, not accepted and rejected bugs. Okay, then I just pumped into my recon thing and then I started reconning. And in May itself, I got 800 points, valid points, 800 valid points. And right now, my current rank on Buckrod is 181 and points are like 1197. So recon helps actually. Okay. And it helps you, and we will see that how you can automate finding SQL injection or automate finding SSRF or open redirect accesses using recon. So it would be, really cool to see that how recon is going to help us in our bug bounty journey. So people say recon is complex. There are like a lot of tools, what we should do, it's literally creative. You need to, make your own workflow. So somebody might start from subdomain scanning. Somebody might start from, going to IP, looking for IP spaces and then scanning them. It's totally up to you that what comforts you. And I will tell you my strategy that how I go for the targets in upcoming slides. So recon for bug bounty, how useful it has been. I already told you that, yeah, recon can be used in pen testing. Actually, it's a complete part of pen testing. The first two phases, footprinting and information, enumeration and information gathering part, these are the recon itself, right? So recon is something uh, you should use everywhere. If anybody have been through OSCP or might be pursuing OSCP, they people actually say that there was a target we want to approach, but there was no, such target was very secure. Then we did some recon social engineering and then we exploited employee, and from there we got into the things. So yeah, so recon is really useful not only for bug bounties but for everything. Now, so giving you a 20-foot overview of recon process, we just start by looking at the program, what program policies say. If it says that everything is in scope, you can go and test every damn thing. Then we just first go and say, okay, what company is, from how many years it has been into existence. So an old company is more likely to have more number of domains apparently than a newly started company. Then we go and check for the subsidiaries, acquisitions, and acquisition. We can go as much as down we want to go over there. Then we do subdomain scanning on everything. Then we go and check, subdomain takeovers. Then we put those subdomain scanning into further pipeline for testing for XSS, SSRF, open redirection, and other stuff. So what, why, when, where, everything is just one solution. If you are good at recon, you can actually get started and get, pumped into bug bounty. Especially for beginner, getting into recon is really easy because recon really doesn't require that much technical skills at all. You can easily find bugs. So you found you all of a sudden you did recon and you found an API key which might be of AWS or something, some good service, right? Now what you can do with those API keys, if you will report, if you can access their AWS account, it's a P1 bug. You did nothing technical, you just found an API key from recon and you reported it, and it's a P1 win, right? So yeah, recon no doubt helps a lot. So this is my process. I first go and do the open source intelligence. I see that, okay, what are the services being offered by the company, what are the domains of the company, all the top level domains and everything. We will talk about the top level domains in the practical thing. Then I go and do search engine dorking. I didn't mention Google Docs over here because I use Bing as well, I use Yahoo as well, I use DuckDuckGo as well, because the result differs. Then there's Git Recon. It gives you a lot of stuff. Then content discovery, as in like finding hidden parameters, finding more attack surface. And then I use some tools to semi-automate my recon. And then there are some particular tools, actually one tool only, to completely automate the recon workflow. And then I just start hacking into the targets. Sorry. Okay. So OSINT is simply open source intelligence. By OSINT, we mean that any publicly available free information which anybody can access. Okay. So it helps you to fingerprint your target, know your target better. It helps you to map the acquisition, information harvesting for social engineering. The end goal is to know your target better. So let me just switch directly to some practicals from very start so that you can get some good idea. Okay, so let us call a company called StackPath. I hope you can see my screen. If not, please ping on the chat. I guess you all are can see. Okay, fine. Thanks, Gaurav. So if you see StackPath, some information is given over here, some revenue founded by. Now, if you see this thing, okay, subsidiary, right? This is something really interesting for me in OSINT process, because the StackPath's team says that everything is in scope. So again, telling you a short story why I always use the example of StackPath. So if you see this one, server density limited, so it was not mentioned in their scope. I was the first person to report a bug into server density, and then they changed their scope. So see, this program is on bug crowd for the last 3 years. I guess if anybody of you is hunting on bug crowd, they might have seen it. Okay, so now you can actually assume that, like, 3-year-old program, and I got a P2. Like, I just started, I got a good bug, P2 bug, and that's all, like in 5 minutes. So recon actually helps. So OSINT, now I got to know, okay, these are the subsidiaries. First, I had just one target called stackpath.com or stackpath.net. Now I have one more target called serverdensity.com, and then I have one more target called this Highwinds. So now, see, high winds actually do not redirect directly, do redirect directly to stack path. So I can just ignore it for a while. Then there is called net DNA, max CDN. And then what I will do is I will go to server density. Okay. I will go to server density and I will try to search, okay, is there anything extra which is related to, again, a domain of stack path. So then what I can do is I can go to a website called Crunchbase. So Crunchbase is basically a business-oriented website which keeps all the information about the target. So I just simply go and search about StackPath. There we go about StackPath. So it says the number of acquisition are 6. Here we are getting only 4, if you see. But now more attack surface, right? 6. So now this thing has a limitation that it won't show you anything after 3. So simply what you have to do is do inspect. This is just hackers, this jugaad stuff that we say, and just remove these thing and go here, and now you can access the below target as well. So this is something, just a simple solution for this. Okay, so now we got more targets using a 2-minute OSINT. Okay, now let's see what more we can do with OSINT, right? So what I can do is I can simply write this stack path, and then simply go and say GitHub. Okay, so it is gonna give me the simple the stack paths thing. Okay, I will jump into GitHub Recon in very soon, but just showing you that you can easily find things like stack path GitHub, or maybe stack path let's say Prezi. So if there is any Prezi related to stack path, it will be there, or maybe any private service like script. So yeah, this way it helps. Then you can map, like their employees and everything. So if you go and search tech path and then say LinkedIn, go over there. And if you go and click on people, you will see all the person working on it. And then if you are into doing pen test, like a complete pen test where the social engineering red teaming process, then again you can go and connect with these guys to know more about the stack path. And depends upon your totally social engineering skills. I very much like social engineering because it's one of the funniest and interesting part. So let's just get out of here. Okay, so this is something that I usually do into the OSINT, right? So Prezi is actually a service which like help you making some cool slides, just like some more creative version of PowerPoint. Okay. So information harvesting for social engineering, we saw it. Let's move next. Okay. So search engine docking. So most people, what most people do is they ignore search engine docking. They think that it's a very complicated and it's very tedious process, but it is not. If you use the proper docs, you can actually get some good information out of them. Then we have Shodan, Census, Spice, FOFA, and Binary. Yes, let's see them in practice because okay. So I'm gonna go first. Go to GHDB. People sometimes ask like, okay, what are the best resources? I am not robot Google. What are the best resources for docs? So this is all in one solution for Google Docs. So there you can actually go and apply the filters. Like I need, for example, some vulnerable files. Say. Okay. So now this will show me only the vulnerable files. Now I want to see, for example, this one. Okay, this one. Let's go. Simply go and paste it over here. Now see, so what this particular thing do is it search any URL which might contain simple news slash admin, right? Now you will think that I am doing recon for stack path hash, how it is useful for me for the stack path. So nothing, right? Just simply go and add the word stack path over here. See, if any result matching to the word stackpath or stackpath.com or something similar, it will show you over there. If not, okay, you can ignore it. If I say in URL, sorry, URL, okay, wait, sorry, dot PHP maybe. So it will go and search for the .php file extensions if having to the particular thing. Okay, so you can go and form your so and so queries using GHDB. It's a really neat resource. They have everything. So for example, I want to search, let's say WP JSON file to stackpath.com. Let's see if it results me something. Okay. Okay, so it results like written WordPress, but not exactly the word this WP JSON. So, okay, sorry, I forgot to write the URL word over here. Yep. So according to it, it do not contain WP JSON, so it might be wrong because sometimes it contain, but it might not show you. So let's choose some another target, maybe Dell.com. So after this thing, the other search engines, right? So other search engines like Bing, they have the same feature where you can actually go and search for this stuff. So like Firebase uh, app.io, I guess this is the extension for Firebase. I'm not sure what the exact extension for Firebase is. So let's say Amazon AWS.com. So it will see list the S3 buckets and other things related to Amazon AWS. And if you want to narrow down more, you can simply say, okay, so be specific about what exactly you can say. So bypassing login pages and everything currently might not be part of the scope of this presentation, because I am trying to cover as much as recon possible, not going more into the bypasses and router pages, right? So there are certain things you can do directory brute forcing that I will tell you, and I will tell you answer this question while showing the directory brute forcing process. So these are some of the ways. So other than that, you can actually ping me separately, then we can discuss about this, because then we will lead the flow of this presentation. Then Shodan, Census, Spice, and Fofa. So these are actually the Internet of Thing based search engines. So if you go to Shodan. Okay, so Shodan actually, locates all the host name, which or maybe the IoT devices and other stuff. So, for example, if you just want to say this any random website with the so I am searching for this thermofisher.com. So it will show me all the IoT based devices or maybe the public IP addresses which might not be returned using the subdomain scanners or some other link finders or other analyzers during this process. So there are certain the keywords like host name keyword, then there's a keyword called company, then there's a keyword called organization. You can simply write org. Then you can simply write like SSL certificate. So these are some particular keywords like similar to the Google Docs that you can use to narrow down your search results into Shodan. Then it comes census. So basically, these are few of the web applications that we use to do our recon process. So census and Shodan are really helpful. So you can simply go over this thing and write your target organization, maybe stackpath.com. Okay, so now you see this thing, this particular IP. I will just open it up. Okay, so it says that it has this port open, port 80, port 443, and if sometimes these particular things might give you the ports like RDP open. So RDP you can go and simply try the exploits like this blue key. Then if 445 is open, you can go and try eternal blue. If port 21 is open, you can go and try FTP anonymous login. So for those who do not know that what the FTP anonymous login is, so FTP has a feature where you can actually provide the username and password as anonymous, and it will log you in. Some usually it has the read access only, but still you will have the initial foothold to the application, right? So I recently reported it to one of the program and got a P2 bug for this. So yeah, it's pretty easy and cool, and most of the bug hunters do not look for it. So I always use this little Shodan extension handy. It tells me what ports are open. These might be false positive, but it's a quick help, right? So then I leave the FOFA and the other like binary edge for you, so that you can go and explore yourself. These are totally similar to what the Shodan is. Okay, so this one is really interesting, and I guess most of the people might be you know, interesting into uh, learning about GitHub Recon. So yeah, GitHub Recon usually gives you the P1 bug itself directly. It's really uh, easy to find those bugs. Just give me a second. Sorry for the mess. Okay, so let's move to the GitHub page of again GitHub, and let's say stack path. Okay, so now we are here to the stack paths page. Now, if I will click on this particular thing, search or jump to, okay, and if I will write anything called password, yeah, I will share the PPT at the end, or you can just simply ping me over my social media so that you can get it. So now, see, automatically it appended something called org stack path, right? So this org stack path says that search for this particular organization only. and search for the keyword password. So repos, you might always have this as 0. So I am pretty more interested with this code thing right now. All you have to do is you have to just analyze these files. So these are like roughly 11 examples. So for example, let's see if any of them has some good credentials. Okay, so seems like it's not there. Yep. So now we can use the keyword like maybe SSH. So see runner.ssh. Then there is something called go.sum. So let's see what this runner.sh has in particular. Okay, so it's simply a vagrant machine and doesn't have that much credential about that at all. So it's so always remember that you are like not required to report everything that you see. Not everything is a bug or not everything is there. Some things are there intentionally, like for test demonstration example. So yeah, then there are like more keywords like you can generate as much as keyword you want. Like maybe say token, so it will search every code of stack path having the word token, and you can actually go and check one by one that if any token makes sense to you. But again, you might be thinking this is a very long process. What if the organization is Tesla, or what if the organization is Google? So let's see. Let's say Tesla.com, and let's say token. So right now you are now seeing 829 results, and that is really huge, right? So this makes the thing completely tidious, and people leave the GitHub recon at all. But yeah, there are like multiple times if the target is really new or really good, you can actually go and find some good bugs. Let me just you know let's say like some target itself, they have something. Okay, so see, if you see the email address disclosed, there is no sense to report them because okay, that's okay that you can harvest using the harvester or some other services. So that's totally all right. But yeah, if you see the password as well along with that, then you might be willing to report them unless you are waiting for other people to report them. Then I will search a word like client underscore secret. Okay, see, this particular file sounds interesting because I saw something called client secret over there. Let's go and simply search the keyword again, client underscore secret. So see, there we have this clients underscore secret and client.id. But now the second task we have to do is we need to confirm if it is actually relatable to the company itself, or it is some other, other organization, and it might go out of scope or something. So what I usually do is I just simply go and search for the company name. So Thermo Fisher, for example, right? So the URL says that it's related to Thermo Fisher and other stuff. So yeah, now I can go and report it. So this is a manual GitHub recon process that you usually do. Okay. So then there are multiple instances like you can simply go to add overflow GitHub keywords, which has like this CI box. So yeah, this repository contains a list. They're down there somewhere. They have, so he has some list. Yeah, I guess not this one. So in this URL, you will go down and see some list of keywords he has mentioned somewhere. I guess it should be somewhere over here. Let's see. So this is another list, but this one. Yes. So these many, like these are like more than 200 to 300 keywords that you can go and manually check. So manual thing actually helps you to not miss anything actually. Okay, you have like more chances to find things. But what if you want to automate the process? We have a complete different slide and PPT tool ready for that. So yeah, we will go and see that in like very few next slides. So this is simply the GitHub Recon is all about the target and the doc, just like you do for the Google docking or other docking. Now, this is something really interesting to all of us. Subdomain enumeration, IP space enumeration, reverse whois, then parameter discovery, hidden content discovery, directory brute forcing. So we'll pick them up one by one. So what subdomain enumeration is, for those who do not know, basically there are like, you see a domain like www.google.com or maybe app.google.com. So google.com is your main top level domain, and this app keyword is a subword, right? So it makes a subdomain. So subdomain help you to expand your total attack surface, and it gives you like a huge point of attack to point to attack actually. Then the second thing, IP space enumeration. So there is something called the IP ranges of the organization. Okay, so these are the IP spaces. The IP ranges are the IP spaces where you can go and enumerate and see if some particular port is open. Yes, Mohit, video is recording, so somebody can upload it on YouTube. Then there is something called reverse whois. So reverse whois help you discover again more top level domains. We will see it in action. Then parameter discovery are like, okay, are there any parameter like URL parameter or some ID parameter, or which are not directly being shown to the app. Then hidden content discovery, are there any some particular endpoints like, for example, slash admin or slash administrator slash php myadmin, which we can go and attack. Then the directory brute forcing is again to analyze the particular URL for more endpoints and see if we can get some sensitive information from that. Then we have JavaScript link analysis. So like if you know that organizations have a lot of JavaScript files, like website run a lot of JavaScript, and sometimes they contain secrets and URLs, and these URLs might be some other subdomain which the tools are missing. So yeah, you can go and check that. Then there are buckets and online resources like buckets like this AWS S3 buckets, and other resources like the Prezi or the CodePen, or some other resources the organization like Trello they might be using. So yeah, this is simply the process, and we will see each of them one by one. So before going to semi-automating recon, let's just quickly see how we can do all these stuff from the web applications. So then we can we can finish up the web application part and move to the totally tool-based parts. Okay, so the best tool I use for subdomain enumeration is security trails. So if you see, they now also mentioned this, that 30 acquisitions and company search for like for particularly for Verizon. So now I want to go and check the domains for specpath.com. Your tool might take like a 10-minute or 5-minute to find the domains. I just need to go and click on subdomains. And I have all the main subdomains which are live. And this is the complete list, which is the hosting provider, which is the mail provider. And second best use of this security trails tool is, for example, your target is protected with a firewall or some other kind of security mechanism, right? So if I go to this particular domain for say techpart.com, and if I go to this historical data, now you can see the IP changes, right? So now they are on Highwind's network, but initially 7 years ago they were on Confluence, and it is possible that this IP might still be pointing to them. So if you go, so right now it's not, so it is not like it will be true for everybody, but usually it is. So if the IP is still pointing, you can directly bypass the firewall. It's really simple. I bypass firewall many times just simply by going to security trails and finding the historical data, and just jumping to that particular IP, and it helped me a lot. So then there is a very new website launched by Project Discovery, Chaos. Okay, so what it does is it saves all your time to do the subdomain enumeration. You can, for example, if you want to go and check domains for Airbnb, you can just simply click on this cloud button. It will download things for you. It will download and it will contain all the subdomains of Airbnb. So Right now they do not contain that much programs, but yeah, there are like plenty of programs for you to go and start with. So let's go and check the stack path, what they say for stack path. Yeah, so they say there are like 2412 you know uh, yeah, subdomains. So that's a huge number that you can go and they update it regularly. So this is again a nice tool, online web-based tool, which you can use to do the subdomain enumeration process. So some people complain that our systems are like having a low RAM or low specification, so these tools actually are there to help you out. Okay, so now what if, so I have like a list of 100 subdomains and I really want to check which of them are live and which of them are not. So what you can do is use this particular tool, http status.io. What this tool does is it resolve them. Okay, so it resolve them and it will show you the status code and finally where they are going. So let me just pick up some random domains. You might not be able to see my other screen because I'm doing things on that. Just give me 1 second to copy the domains. Okay, so there we go. I just randomly copied from one of my recon domain. So like there are like some 20 domains. So just I have to go and say check status, and it will resolve each of them one by one, and you will see the result. You can actually change the user agent as well. So there we go. We have like everything. So now I know that where this go. It has 3 redirects. It has 2 redirects. I can simply go and check where at last it is going. It is going at some called tylertech.com or something, and then you can see all the headers and the cookies over there. So it's really quick process, and like okay, this thing says 503, so I might ignore it for a while, right? But then it says that okay, this has 403, but it has some Jenkins, so I might go and check this particular one to bypass and gain some access. So bypassing, so okay, so we saw a 403 thing, so let's see how we can bypass it. I'm not going to do it right now because I am not sure that okay, not sure totally that it will be bypassed or not, but let's see that what are the probable bypasses that are there. So what okay, so they are actually using some Okta login. So what you can do is when it is going to redirect, you can stop the redirection and see if you can access that particular page without getting redirected. And then you can, a second thing that you can do is you can forcefully do a directory search or directory scanning to see if you can access some particular endpoints. Then you can go and check the version of Jenkins and see that okay, if that particular version of Jenkins has some CVs or some vulnerabilities or not. So yeah, this is about the basic stuff. Then let's see about the who is reverse who is. So simply go to the website, any view DNS or anything. Just simply type the resistant name as techpath.com, and there we go. So we have now some more domains, right? Like VPN node and tweak VPN. And so now what we just have to do is we have to go and verify if these services are related to the spec path or not. So doing this, you can go and search who is records for this particular domain and see that if that points somewhere to stack path or something related to stack path, and then you have more attack surface from this thing. Okay, so moving next, we have something called parameter discovery, which we will directly see into the practical tools section, the directory brute forcing and the JavaScript link analysis. These all we will cover into a single tool, which will show you everything. So that will save the time. For S3 bucket, what you can do is simply you can use the Google Docs like s3.amazonaws.com, and then just give your target's name. If that exists for your target, it might show you. Okay, so it shows some of the particular websites for that. Okay, so steppath.com. Okay, so it might not be true that these are the AWS S3 buckets itself, but yeah, you can use these kind of docs to find them. Now, semi-automating the recon, there we are going to talk about like automating the complete stuff, automating with the tools which are available. So, for subdomain enumeration, you might be using MAS or Asset Finder or Subfinder, Aquatone, etc. So every tool gives some difference into subdomains. Like for example, MAS may give you like 50 domains, and Asset Finder may give you 100 domains. So what people do is they use all of these tools to make sure that nothing goes miss. So I guess you can see the terminal right now. Let's see if we can uh, use some of the tool like asset finder, and then just simply say steppath.com. Okay. So this particular tool, I like it very much because of it's really fast, and it's just give you all the domains in a minute. Okay. So if I go and say WC hyphen L, it gives me almost 177 domains, right? So this way I can just simply say, now let's use Subfinder, and then say stackpath.com, and then say WC hyphen L. Wait, why it's not working? I do not use Subfinder, so I'm not sure its total commands. Let's see how. So I'm using Subfinder. Okay, so what it says for the domain, okay, D, as usual, expected. Okay, so it's enumerating stuff. By the time, let's move to the another terminal and see other tools in action as well. Aquatone is little bit slow when it comes to subdomain enumeration that I have personally faced. It just gets jammed. So I do not use Aquatone that much these days. I used to do. Then MAS is something really good. MAS MAS is like mainly you can use for the whois record and reverse DNS stuff. That's really easy using MAS. Steppath.com. So see, Subfinder just gave me only 74 domains, wherein this particular tool gave me 177 domains. So there is a difference. What you can do is you can create the multiple files using multiple these tools, and then combine them into single file by using a command called you save the output. Now you just simply do cat star. I will tell you reverse voice in just a second. Star or star, and then just simply say sort uniquely, and then simply say t and output.txt. So assume that you have the domain output files from multiple tools stored in a particular directory. You go and simply use this particular one liner, and it will give you all the unique domains stored in the output.txt file. This makes the thing fast. So you might not want to go and jump into subdomain information one by one, and see that, okay, hey, how can I go and eliminate the duplicates? So these kind of one liner that you can use. Okay, so after that, IP space enumeration, MAS is enough. Reverse whois MAS is again enough. So okay, let me tell you the reverse whois. So reverse whois actually go and search for the other domains which are registered with the same registrant or the same organization, or onto their whois records, right? So MAS has its own this reverse whois module, MAS Intel hyphen whois. Then you can simply say domain as like stackpath.com. Let it run. So star is a simple regex which search for all the files with all the extensions. So for example, you have file like a.txt and a.abc. So it will search both a.txt and a.abc. And T is a command which also stores the output to some particular file, and also shows in on the your terminal window. So using the web app, we got only like a few reverse whois records, and now you can see that we have like hell lot of whois records. So uh, I always rely upon some particular tools for doing all this process. So then it comes to like parameter discovery. There are tools like Arjun and Param Spider. I might not have them installed. Let me just quickly check. Okay, so I will show you the this parameter discovery in the very next slides with a tool. I have already done it, so I will directly show you that how the parameter discovery looks like. Okay, so now like we have talked about semi-automating all the recon process one by one. But I really do not want to waste my time doing the recon one by one. I want to make it organized. I want to make it very as much simple as it could be. So this thing, the word Osmodeus that you are looking at right now, is a tool which solves all your problems. So let me quickly get you through the tool Osmodeus. Yes, I'm using PowerShell right now, and I have connected to my GCP. I will talk about GCP in very next slides. Okay. So let's go to Osmodeus and simply run Osmodeus over here. So if you go and if you are like successfully installed the Osmodeus, which is fairly simple, all you need to do is you need to clone this repo and simply do the pip pip r requirement.txt and simply run this install.sh file. It will do everything for you. So let us use this particular thing, osmodeus.py-M, and it will list all the modules for us. Okay. So if you see, it has subdomain scanning, it has port scanning along with screenshots. It has, a screenshot for the list of hosts. So visual recon, it covers totally visual recon. Then it do vulnerability scanning on each vulnerable services, as in like you will scan the IP ranges with the nmap for the port 80, 443 and some other ports. And if there is any known vulnerability for the services running, it will capture them and it will show them. And then it do a GitHub recon itself. Then it search for the burp states. Then it do the directory searching in the IP space. It also do the link analysis. It also do the course scanning, subdomain takeovers, everything that you need for a complete recon process, right? So it's a pretty interesting tool. Let me show you how the results look like. So let me go to bugcrowd.com and simply say, okay. So see, it separately stores everything into separate folders, which you can go and easily access. So for example, I want to go and check the subdomains. Okay. So now it is using asset finder, find domain, go buster, sub finder, like every single tool that you are using right now to do the subdomain scanning. Now, remember that there are some tools like find domain. They use some multiple services, so it uses MAS and everything. Now, what you have to do is you can simply go and say cat final buckcrowd.txt, and it has all the unique domains. You need not any one-liner. You need not any third-party service or any other web applications to rely upon. Just use this tool and come to this directory, and that's it. You have all the domains right now with you. Similarly, if you go back and say, I want to go to the links folder, then I want to go to summary, this thing, and see, you have all the list, like everything. It's a huge list that you can see the where the links are going on and everything from the. So it says that from where they got the link. Okay, they got this from S3. So I have now this S3 bucket of bug crowd. So it totally actually, you know, uh, uh, do all the recon part for you. So for the Osmodeus memory space purpose, I actually disable the screenshot part because screenshot takes a lot of memory, and I really do not like the screenshot part at all. I tend to go and manually check one by one all the domains, because sometimes screenshot just fails in some cases because of network, and then you think, okay, the domain is not alive. So now, I will tell you later, like when we will move to the end of the slides, that how we can actually use those, those files where the link analysis to actually look for what we want, and that would be pretty much interesting. We can automate the stuff using Bash one-liners, and yeah. So quickly moving back, let's say there is something called directory. Okay, let's see what this directory thing has. So directory, okay, it will contain all the directory search. So it uses FUFF tool for the all the directory enumeration purpose, but I have disabled it, so it won't show the results over here. Let's go to course folder. So meeting will end once the few remaining slide will end, I guess. And yeah, I will try to make sure that I convey whatever I like aim to convey in as short time as possible. Okay, so now see, it searches for the course automatically. If the website is vulnerable with the course, it will highlight with some orange color or the red color. So again, you need not to go and do a lot of tidy stuff and using, many other tools. You can simply go and use this particular tool, and that's it. Use this particular tool and you are all good to go into the recon. So I have been using this tool like from last couple of months, and I found it very time saving thing. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so the best part that I forgot to tell you about this particular tool is you can actually access all those things over a web service. Okay, so let me go and run Osmedius again, and let me show you that how it will look like when we will run it from the web service. So if you will try to run Osmedius directly, I actually just put it into my bash RC file. I will show you that. So okay, Osmedius, and then simply say, let's say dell.com. So okay. I thought my other instance is running, but it's not. I have to go and manually run it then. Windows/osmedius.py. You can use -x to disable some particular modules. So right now I'm disabling derb because I don't want to do directory searching. -t to define your target. Let's say dell.com. Then it will run the server at the localhost port 8000. Right now I am into Google Cloud, so I won't be able to see the screen. So what I will do is I will simply SSH with local port forwarding. So local port forwarding, what it will do is it will redirect the traffic of my Google Cloud's localhost to my port 8000. All I need to do is go and say Hirsch, and then okay, cool. Watch out. So all we need to do is we need to go to the browser and say localhost and port number 8000, and we will get a very nice UI of Osmedius. It might take a little time to load because it's loading over SSH. Still waiting for the localhost. I'm not sure why it's not loading it. Okay, it's loaded. Cool. Now, see, there are few particular things like summary, logs, reports. So if you go to summary, you will see the workspaces over here. You can select the workspaces. See, all these workspaces are there right now. So for example, I want to select dell.com. Once the Dell's results are complete, it will show me the the domains and the IP, their technologies, their ports, everything. When I go to log, for example, I want to go and force a search for this particular thing, like maybe bugcrowd.com. What it will do is it will give me everything into the web format. Now I do not need to go to the console as well. I can simply go and run the tool and just simply enjoy directly from my this thing. So see, every result is there. You can use simply Control F to find whatever you want to find and not. So this tool is really a good get to go, and this is underrated actually. Most of the people do not know about this. So See this. It tells you, okay, so for example, I found a bug into nginx, which is remote integer overflow. What I need to do is, what I actually want to do is, I just want to find the nginx so that I can first report all the nginx vulnerabilities to this program, right? So, okay, I have 4 nginx. All I need to go is go to the nginx one by one, find the same vulnerability, report it, and it save all my time into the single go. So this is quite fun. So for example, I want to find bugs in WordPress. There we go. Just search WordPress and that's it. So then you will see into the logs that what all this tool Osmodius has. Let's see, bug.com. So it has like subdomain scanning, it probes, course scanning, fingerprinting, subdomain takeover scanning, link finding, then the IP space, the port scans, everything that you need for a simple recon, right? Apart from this, now you're left with the GitHub recon. So this, for this particular target, I didn't perform GitHub recon, though I will show you some of the example of GitHub recon as well. Just give me a second. Okay, remember when you will close the Osmodius tool from the console, the web UI will go down because it actually creates a Python server. So make sure that you do not think that you are doing something wrong. It's just about the server going down. You can just go and run it again. And one more thing to mention over here is that you won't, if you will even like turn off the UI or the server, the results won't be affected. The result will stay persistent in your memory itself. So if I go to again Osmodius and the workspace, this is the folder where all the results are stored. Then let me go to bugcrowd.com. Do not have Git right now. Let me go to software.com. Okay, then it also do not have GitHub. Okay, let's go to simple.com. Okay, so if you see the git scan thing, right? It has the git scan for this particular target, and so it uses gitrop, trufflehog, everything. So if you see that it saves all your time into, you know, all your complete time for this. So yeah, you can background it, or you can create a screen out of it. So I'm just telling, when the recon is totally done and you finally wish to, shut it down, so that time the server will go down. So all I need to do is simple.com and then say trufflehog.txt, and if there is something in trufflehog, it will show me over here. If not, then it won't. Then let's say this. Okay, .com repo.txt. Okay, it just says simple.com, so it just found a domain, so it's nothing in simple.com on GitHub that much. So yeah, it depends upon your target. So I didn't do that much recon. I just configured my GCP to show this stuff. Okay, so this is a really good tool, and setting up it is really easy. What you need to do is, okay, so Osmodius is totally free. There is no paid version of it. It is totally free. So you can simply go and clone this and install it. It's really simple. They have a good documentation to install it. You can easily understand what, it's written in the thing. Now we have all the information that we need, right? We use a simple tool to like automate every damn thing that we required to do the recon. We saw how we can do recon on GitHub manually, on Google Docs and everything. Now it's time to hack the world. Not the end of the PPT yet. If some people are being happy and doing them, it's not the end. Okay, so then again, there are some other tools which will be helpful if you are looking for very low hanging fruits, like insecure cookies or SPF record missing or tools like that. So security trails and cows and this STP status we already talked about. There are few more tools like Hardenize and MX Toolbox. So let's see what they do. So I am being very honest and telling my own strategy that I really use. So there are many people who might, not share their actual strategy, but right now I'm telling you what I exactly do to, and how I reached from, 60 duplicates for 3 months to 1097, like 1197 points in just total duration of 4 months on bug crowd. So yeah, so let's go and say hardenized.com. So just simply give the targets techpaths.com. So this might not be useful into bug bounties because the low hanging fruits the companies won't accept. But if you really are looking for chaining the bugs, it is the best part you can do. So let them scan it till time we will see the another thing called MX Toolbox. I will take roughly more 15 minutes and then I will open up for the question answers. So you can ask if you have any doubts and those who wanna leave, they may. So I will just go to this DMARC section over here. And then let's say any like speaker.com and say DMARC lookup. Okay. So next thing I will do is find problems. Now it will give me the problem. So if it's a I'm pen testing for a sorry client project, I can actually tell them okay, there are some issues with the revert DNS with the SMTP banner or some SOS serial number format is invalid. In bug bounties, they won't accept it at all. But it's okay. So this tool can actually find you the SPF records and everything at a single place. So you need not to go to the multiple places. And then there are some other tools over here which are really useful, like for whois record, for the DMARC, and then this domain health report, the ASN lookup. ASN basically help you finding the IP ranges that we initially talked about. Then the subnet. So it has like a nice set of tools that you can use. So you need not to go and run to the multiple tools. I guess yeah. So if you see, then they do not have the HSTS header implemented. They do not have this start TLS. So I am not sure where they are actually using it. I usually okay, it's email security. You can ignore it. So yeah, it pretty much tells you the basic header stuff and details about it. It's a really quick tool and handy go to go. Then there is something called, if you have heard about a bug called broken link hijacking. So there I also was researching about some broken, not broken heart, broken links. Okay. So this tool, broken link checker, it's sorry, very good tool. So let me check for my own website. HRT6. It will go and crawl like first 2000 links for the broken links if there is any broken link present over there, and it will find them, and you can might be do takeover. So people get good bounties for the broken link hijacking. So broken link hijacking is similar to you know uh, like similar to what you can say is subdomain takeovers, where you find a broken link pointing to some service which you can actually go and create account. For example, uh, broken link is like okay, you are going to some website and they have mentioned a Facebook icon, right? So this is meant to redirect me to their Facebook page, but when I do, it says page not found. So they have used some username which was might be previously pointing to them, and now they might have changed the username, but they forgot to remove the old username and put the new link, right? So I can go and I can register that username on Facebook, and now whenever somebody will go and click their Facebook button, it will redirect to my control attacker control page, right? Similar to the subdomain takeover thing. So it's pretty easy and pretty interesting when you find broken link hijacking, and bounty is also really good. Like it depends which service it is. Usually the bounty is like around $500 to $1,000 and maybe go high depending upon the target. Okay, so let me see where the broken link hijacker is. I guess I have closed it. No, so right now I do not have like my one is like okay, it says that bad host and something, maybe it's issue with the responding, but my Instagram is really well, or might not be okay. I just misplaced the URL maybe somewhere. I need to go and fix it. Do not report to me. I won't be giving you any bounties for that. Similarly, you can go and check Dell.com. It will give you a lot of results. So I was also looking for the broken link checker recently, and I stumbled upon these particular online tools. I found them really interesting. And there is one more tool by uh, Arbaz Hussain on Burp Store. So if you are using Burp Store, you can go and actually use that extension, which is broken link hijacker, and it's really nice. It will give you everything that you need. All you need to do is put your domain that you are testing into the scope and just run the extension. So for me, I actually didn't used to try for the broken link hijacking so far. So I'm planning to go and try for the broken link hijacking. I recently stumbled upon this particular class of bug. So I usually test for the server side and the client side vulnerabilities, not the the uh, bugs like subdomain takeovers or the broken link hijacking. But at school, we might find them in wide. Depends upon the companies. So if you go and bug crowds, this crowd stream, there is a company, I forgot the name, some blockchain company starting from Z. So they paid somebody like around $800 for a Slack's broken link. So yeah, people give bounties for that. From there only I got to know about this particular class of bug. Okay, so automating Git recon, this is one of my favorite part, and this tool got me the $1,000 bounty like recently, and I just started using this particular tool, and it gave me some particular URL which was live 4 days ago, and it was fresh, nobody touched it, and I got a lucky day that day. So let's switch to the cloud. Now I will tell you that how we can use the Osmodeus output to pipe with multiple tools. Okay, so let's go to our Osmodeus workspace. Go to bugcrowd.com. Let's go to the subdomains folder. Let's get the bugcrowdfinal.txt, and now I will be piping it with the githound. Remember, I have mapped githound to my bash rc for quick use. So if you are not doing that, you might need to give the complete part to your githound tool. Okay, that you need to do. Okay, it's asking for the GitHub 2FA code. Let me just quickly do that. Not sure what's asking. Just a second. I'm just putting my GitHub 2FA code over here. Okay, done. So it will take a few minutes and check each subdomain. So this is why I like the one-liners and I like the Osmodeus tool, that it have all the neat output, and now I can the pipe things like together. So it's pretty cool. Now by the time it searches, let's go and see some next stuff so that we do not just waste the time. Okay, so JS link analyzer, wayback URLs, param spider and Arjun, we will just see them once the particular thing is done. Now let's talk about the one-liners. I mentioned one-liners many times. So what the one-liners are? So you all know about the shell that you are seeing here, the terminal, the bash, right? So Linux uses the bash, ZSH, and things like that. So what you can do is, so there are some command like ls or maybe grep or cut command, sed command, awk command. You can chain those multiple commands to perform the quick actions, right? So just to give an example, recently, Project Discovery launched a tool called HTTPX. Okay, so if you remember, we used a tool called this particular tool, the HTTP status, to check the redirects and everything and see which domains are alive. Now, what if I completely automate this process with my one-liner? It will save a lot of time copying, pasting, and things like that. So, what I need to do is let's just see the options available with the HTTPX. Okay, so they say that okay, I need this particular thing for now, and let's just go to our again Osmodeus workspace, bug crowd, and then subdomains. I will again cat the final.txt. I will say httpx over here, and then I will just paste the follow redirects. command, and then I will also paste the hyphen status hyphen code command to the parameter to show me the status code like 200 or 300. I also want to check for the vhost. Now I will pipe. So this particular this particular line that you are seeing over here is a pipe command, which actually pipes your output to some other command. Now what I will do is I will grab the keyword 200. Okay, so it will grab the keyword 200 because I just want to see the 200 subdomains right now, which result into the word 200. So I am really thankful to Sniff, the Louis Niffinger of Pentester Lab, to help me fix this particular one-liner. Before it was just this 200, and he put a very good point that it will also grab the host name containing the word 200. So we just change it with this particular regex. Okay, now once done, then I will use this cut command to with the delimiter, this opening bracket, and with the field 1. Okay, so let's say cut hyphen d with the delimiter this, delimiter this, and f1, and all I want to do is t will show the output on the terminal itself, output.txt. That's it. It will take a few minutes and it will give me only those unique domains. Okay, so this will not give the unique domains because I forgot to write the short hyphen u command. It will be a second. Again. Just a short hyphen u. Okay. Now it will give me the all the unique domains redirecting to the 200, right? So it saves my time. I can just simply uh, write this particular into a sh file. So see, pretty easy, right? Using that particular tool, like web interface might take still minutes, but this particular thing will take just a few seconds. And then there are some tools like http robe and like that. They are little slow compared to httpx, so I prefer this particular one. um, okay, so if you go back, let me this. Okay, so you might see the 200 resolve and unique lister.sh. So let's see what this 200 resolve.sh file has. This has the same one-liner that I right now used. So what I need to do is I just simply need to go and run this 200.sh, and at $1 I just need to provide my input file. So wherever my domain file is, I just need to provide that. And at $2, I just need to provide the output file. So these are the command line arguments. So for example, the input file and the output file, and that's it. It will do everything automatically. So you can create your own one-liner by this. Like, all you need to know that what tools you want to use and what are the command line options present over there. So these kind of one-liners I am learning to create. I am not expert on creating that. Honestly speaking, I just trying to automate my process of sharing with you guys as well. It's still taking time. I don't know why. Let it take some time. Okay, so these way you can simply automate the one-liners. So now there are some other one-liners like, for example, I want to find the URLs which have the keyword URL in them. Okay, so again, no, these are my own aliases that I have created. So for that one-liners to search for specific string, what I can do is I can simply do this. So this one-liner is taken from the Twitter. Somebody posted it. I'll leave you site to it. Asset find is stackpath.com. What it will do is it will find the subdomain for stackpath. I will pipe it with the wayback URLs, which will go and search for the wayback history and check for the probable URLs. Now I want to grab with the keyword URL in them. Okay, I will say question mark URL equals to be more accurate. It will grab the URLs having the URL question mark URL equals to parameter, so that I can test for XSS or open redirection or other stuff, SSRF maybe. Then I will say short uniquely because obviously I do not want any duplicates. And there we go. Okay. Wayback URL is right now not into my, I guess, bash profile. So all you need to do is to put wayback URL into the bash profile. Let me just quickly set up wayback URLs. I guess but I mistyped. Sorry for that. So this particular time command will surely gonna take some time because it goes and first search for all the subdomains and things like that. But this way you can automate your complete process, in a single go. Now, just to give you another example and just stopping this for right now, what you can do is you can again go and there are some tools from Tom Nom Nom's hacks folder. Okay, and you can go and say K-access. So there is a tool called K-access which scans automatically for the access vulnerability, or you may use GF profiles, or you might want to use Delphox for accesses. So yeah, this way you can automate the vulnerabilities from one-liners. So this makes really cool sense to automate the low-hanging fruits and the easy-hanging fruits. And Recon always gives you a win, because if I can find accesses from just from Recon, it's cool, right? I need not to go and do stuff like that. So KXSS, I didn't found that much efficient because I recently started using it. I just, do not totally rely upon the tools, but yeah, I surely run these tools in the background. So just in case if I'm lucky enough to, see a pop-up or see like a message that, yeah, you got an XSS or, but I like Delphox much better than KXSS. So people might have a different opinion about those tools, but I like Delphox better than KXSS. Uh, yeah, this is Windows terminal connected to my GCP for the quick enumeration process. We will talk about GCP in very next slide. Okay, so setting up your cloud for recon and hacking while sleeping. So there are like cloud is, I guess all clouds. I'm not gonna go deep and explain that what cloud is. So there are some particular clouds that I recommend is like GCP, Amazon Web Services, Azure, or DigitalOcean. I particularly like GCP because GCP give you $300 and that you can use over a period of 12 months. So actually, if you purchase a good VPS with 8 GB of RAM, it will at least last like around 7 or 5 months or something like that. So yeah, GCP is good. DigitalOcean offer you $200, but that is for 2 months only. So uh, how to configure is currently out of scope of this particular talk. You can go to the documentation and see that how we can configure the particular cloud. How to utilize, let's see it in action, because we are seeing it from some particular timeline. So quickly telling you the way you can make it more efficient. Simply once you are logged into your particular cloud, simply do sudo su to log into root, and then simply go and say nano and etc ssh, sorry, ssh, and then sshd config. All you need to do is permit root login as yes, then password authentication as yes. That's it. For this particular file, save it. Then what you need to do is you need to type this particular command, systemctl enable SSH. So whenever your system will restart, it will automatically start the SSH service. Then systemctl start SSH. Copy your IP from your particular whatever the cloud provider is. Simply go and say like root or whatever user you are using. Right now I prefer using root. Provide your whatever weak password is, and that you go, you are logged in to your cloud. Now the second thing I will show you here is a file called bash rc, which you can use to create the persistent alias. Okay, so if you go and see down here, just okay, one second. Yeah, so see, I have set like a multiple tools like Osmodeus, Dirt Search, FUFF, Antibird, Gittrace, and Hackcrawler, and HTTPX to my path. So setting up into the path is helpful because I can go and run the tool from anywhere. Like if I am into some particular folder, for example, Osmodeus workspace folder, I can go and run it from there. I need not to worry about again and again remembering the path of the tool. Just define an alias with the alias keyword, then the name of the tool that you want to type on the command line, It can be anything. You can even write Osmidius is like you can write Harsh instead of Osmidius, and then provide the complete path. Or if you want to like provide some command as well, like I did it here that I want to run specific modules with the target T. All you need to do is pipe them like this into the quotes. That's it, and then just save this particular file, and then say source dot dash rc. There you go. That's a simple setup that you need to do. And now the benefits of using a GCP or any cloud service is that whenever I go to sleep, I just simply run this particular command, screen hyphen s. I name it like, for example, test. So it runs a screen. If my SSH go down because of the inactivity, the screen is still on. My tool are still running. I have like a list of the targets to recon like that I have created. All I need to do is I need to just type in Osmidius from here and provide whatever the target list is, and that's it. I need not to worry about it. Whenever I wake up in the morning or whenever I get free from my work, I just need to go and simply say screen hyphen ls. Okay, so if you see there are two screen currently active. If I want to attach a screen, simply screen hyphen r and osmi then main. So I am really thankful to one of my friend Ankit for giving this particular solution for the screens. So right now if you see that I have also like left a particular you know subdomain scanning and some particular targets in the backend. So it's just running right now. I am not worried about it at all. So this is pretty simple stuff that you can do with the cloud and the recon. And Osmidius is really a good to go tool. And apart from using Osmidius, these are the limited tools that I really recommend you to use. That you need not to rely upon many tools. I might miss some of the tools over here, but these are the main tools that do all your part, like from Git recon to directory brute forcing to everything. So just make a note of it, maybe take a screenshot or picture of it by before the time I share my PPT with you. You can just simply take it. Yeah, you can use your SH key login like key login as well, but for me, I'm really lazy to set all those things up. So I just prefer password because I keep on destroying and keep on creating new clouds. So that's okay for me. So these are some of the resources and further readings on Recon. So by EXile has a really good blog on Recon, and the Patrick, he has really good content on subdomain takeover and the content discovery. And Pentester Lab, go and follow the bug bounty write-ups. Many of the write-ups, many of the good people. Yeah, GitHub Recon, I will be there. Don't worry about that. I'm just waiting for the terminal to just give some output, right? See, it started giving me the output. Now, for example, it gave me like env db username. All I need to go and just verify, because right now this is a false positive that I know, but still just to show you guys what we saw is db username, right? Db user. So this is particularly just a keyword over here, nothing else. And also it is from a particular book, books like this particular, some book by this iPen test or something like that. So yeah, there might be false positives that you need to go and verify, but it will help you speed up the complete process. Yep, I can share the link to the Google Docs uploading the PPT if you are explicitly asking for the PPT. But I'm not sure if I will be doing it right away. I will post into the few groups. If you are there, you can just go and grab from them, or you can just ping me separately on WhatsApp or Instagram or Twitter. Twitter is the best place. Yeah, so that I guess should cover pretty much of it, and I will be just going to unmute each of you so you can just go and take all your frustration for the last 1.5 hours on me and just ask whatever question you want one by one. I will be there for a few minutes to answer them. So I just allowing you guys to unmute yourself, so please uh, just go one by one. So now you can go one by one, unmute yourself and ask if you need anything.
So can you tell me about SSTI? How we can find SSTI in websites?
Okay, so SSTI server-side template injections are basically arise when you test for the application which uses some templates. So templates are more of like the programming frameworks. Okay, so there is a really good resource. Let me just show you. So if you go to this, they have like a very good resource on each of every bug. So yeah, this methodology like 7*7, or these are like to detect the various kind of the SSTI frameworks or the templates, and to speed up your process. Now, for example, you have a particular field called maybe like URL or some particular field. Okay, now you would be like try to inject the particular payloads, like for example *7.7, and see if it reflects you 49, or maybe if you like do this, maybe the 7 sevens or something like that. So as similar you test and go for excesses. First you try to identify if the SSTI actually exists. Okay, there are some scenarios where the blind SSTI might happen. I am really not good at that, but there is a lab on SSTI which covers like all scenarios of SSTI. SSTI, just search GitHub, which you can use to learn about the SSTI. These are some of the labs which have like all the cases of SSTI, I guess. See, most of them are there. So you can go, you can practice on them and just see. Because for me right now, I have found the basic SSTI, but didn't I was not able to do RC or some other interesting stuff using the SSTI. So I guess that helps somewhere.
Harsh, am I audible? Yeah, this is Karthik here.
Okay.
So I want to ask if there exists any Google Doc we can find the programming language for any of the website. Like if I want to know that website, top 10 websites made up of Java or Python language.
Yeah. So
So
uh, so not sure about the docs. There might be some docs like to find a specific page like .jsp page or .php page. But what you can do to get a basic idea of what kind of frameworks they might be using. So for example, we are right now on the website of Ad Overflow. I have this tool called Weaponizer. Just click on it and it tells me that okay, it's run on Ruby on Rails, right? So now I got a quick idea that it might be using Ruby somewhere. So my SSTI or something shall be related to Ruby. Then there is a website called Netcraft. This thing, and there you can go and check the website. So this particular, I guess, it's searchdns.netcraft.com. They tells you pretty much good stuff about these backend technologies in use. So, for example, I just want to see for okay, I want to just see.
Hello, sir.
Sorry, hello.
Just I have one question.
Yeah, just let me just answer that question first so that I can just move on to the next one. So,
Okay.
what you can
I'm joining to meet. It's too late. Are you recorded this video and you will be uploaded on YouTube on another social media site?
Yes, so the team Plymouth will be have recorded the video and will be uploading on the YouTube and other platforms real soon. As soon as I will have some work around with the link of Twitter, I will be sharing on my various social media. So you can just be updated on Twitter. Most probably, I will be posting on Twitter and some WhatsApp groups. So yeah, we will do that for sure. I expect like within next week we should be good with uploading the recording of this particular
Most
file.
probably before morning you will be getting the links.
Not sure about the
Mhm.
morning. It might take time. It depends upon the team Plymouth. So I am totally not sure about this. I am actually not the host of the meeting. The team Plymouth, it's their level up thing which going on right now. So yeah, it's totally up to them that how speed up they do. I can just ask them to make it.
So, can you tell me about some Ruby and Rails study material, like how we can achieve RC?
So Ruby on Rails, see, you need to go and actually study. So I am actually not good with every programming framework, and RC. See, RC depends upon the attack vector. So it's not always that okay, you are using some Ruby and you can simply go and do RC. So if there is some particular older version of Ruby, there is a Ruby gadget chain deserialization issue which can lead you to the remote code execution. So you need to go and search, use some OSINT process and see that what are the exploits available for Ruby based frameworks or the Ruby based projects. So one that I know which is very famous is the Ruby gadget chain deserialization, and a pen tester lab have exercise on it, so you can go and learn from there as well. But it's paid thing, so yeah.
So can you tell me about how we can exploit SRF further? Like we getting a DNS only request in collaborator, and after some time I'm getting HTTP request. Then how we can exploit this?
Okay, so see, that again depends upon the functionality that you are testing on. So, for example, it's a URL functionality which is allowing to load the URL from any external website. So that might be a feature itself because, for example, there is a community forum which allow you to embed the image from a third-party source, right? So obviously the server is going to make outbound DNS request to fetch that image. So if you're just getting a DNS request, that's totally all right in that particular context and scenario. Apart from that, if you're again stuck and you are pretty much sure that okay, this is something SRF is going to happen over there. So there are some like restriction bypass based on whitelist and blacklist. So I really suggest you to go and check the Portswigger Web Academy labs and get your hands on them, and you will get a good idea that okay, how to bypass each and every restriction on them. And I would really like that if we can keep the question regarding the OSINT and the recon, because I can answer the other question related to SSRF and the JWT exploitation and other stuff, but then the talk would move from one topic to another. So
So can we can exploit it like image metadata and get like some are getting RSN accesses using metadata. So can you tell me about how the metadata is work in backend of the websites?
your voice is breaking and it's getting low again.
Image metadata, some researchers are getting RC and accesses by using this. So how we can get this RC and
Yeah, so there
accesses?
are particular methods I am really not sure about because I haven't tried actually. So I might not be the best person to answer this particular question about exploiting the using RC or doing access using the image metadata. Because I recently also stumbled with some particular techniques with some EXIF parser and some other parser were like supposed to be vulnerable with this particular thing. So yeah.
So I am reading your blogs and you are just privilege escalation bug, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Hello.
I am reading your blogs
Okay.
and I'm reading like a privilege escalation bug. You are like telling a normal user to admin. So can you tell me how achieve that?
Yeah, sure. So let me just open up that particular blog so that everybody can see it right now. Okay, just give me 1 second. So there were particular few low severity vulnerabilities which we chained in order to get to the admin privileges. So the first thing, the application was vulnerable to accesses. Okay, and there were some particular features where the accesses goes when admin, admin has to approve something, and when admin goes and try to approve something, the access pops up at his end, right? Now there were insecure cookies which allow me to remotely fetch all the cookies having the session details and everything. I can use those cookies to log into the login as an admin. Okay. Once I am logged in as an admin, there is an option to change the user's role. I can simply go and change the user's role from the normal user to admin user. Once I have done admin user, I have all the rights. I can remove the fellow admin. So this is how it was kind of the scenario. So I always try to look for the low hanging fruits and the low hanging vulnerabilities and try to chain them as much as possible, and then see that okay, how we can utilize the what we say, the insecure cookies or with accesses to remotely exploit, and then further go deep down the road and see if I can do the previous escalation or something like that.
Okay, thank you. Done from my side. Thanks.
Yes.
Hey Harsh, it's Mihir here. Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
I got a private invite on workout, so can you suggest me what should I look for from
Okay.
starting in Recon?
Okay, so assuming that if you have like a really good and big scope, go and try for the GitHub stuff initially, because many people might not have started with doing GitHub Recon. And then I will suggest, if they say that everything is in scope, not only the particular one domain, then go for the acquisitions. Okay, do not just stuck on the main domain that is mentioned over there. Just go and search what are their acquisitions, because most of the people who are like working on the private program with you might not be going on after the acquisition. So this might reduce the race, and you might be one step ahead on this particular case.
Okay, and one more thing, that the private program is running on Cloudflare. So can you suggest me the vulnerabilities should I look for on Cloudflare?
So I told you, if you remember that security clears website, if you go and see if you can get the real IP and bypass the Cloudflare from there, then try some WAF bypass payloads. So I usually do not go and waste much of my time when I see the Cloudflare and things like that, because bug bounty stuff we do, especially I do as a part of fun, and it's not a part of my full-time job. So I usually try to go after the targets which are at the first place easy to exploit, or maybe interesting to exploit at all. So even if there is Cloudflare, you can always use like the low hanging bugs to chain them further and then exploit it. So take a scenario, IDORs won't affect, like Cloudflare won't affect the IDORs at all. Like in most of the cases, you can easily go and perform IDORs. And yeah, there are many bugs. So if you go and refer to Bugcrowd VRT, so Bugcrowd VRT has a pretty neat stuff on the all the bugs, right? So you can go and pick up some particular category of the bugs. So especially when I go and check, I check for some specific category of bugs, like mainly like logical bugs and then some client side bugs. Okay, and then rarely I hunt for SQL injection, because I really don't like SQL injections. It's a kind of personal eneminess between me and SQL injection. So you can choose your own favorite bugs and start hunting for them.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So can you tell me about some CORS, like how we can exploit the CORS further and get a sensitive data from one user?
Okay, so cost thing is like, so let me show you some example. Yeah, wait, okay, let me just quickly explain the cost thing to you. So there is a scenario, for example, if the application says that access control allow origin and access control allow credential both as true, and it allows the arbitrary origin. You can actually craft the complete XHR request and send it to the victim, just like you go for the CSIF. And if there is no restrictions from the same origin policy or some other policies in place, you can actually extract the data. Now it depends upon the particular endpoint where the data lies or not. So
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
just turned off sharing my screen, and we got like 4 minutes before we just go and like go for this meeting. Was there any question that anybody explicitly want to ask?
Thanks for this such a good content.
Thanks, Omkar.
Thank you, brother, for the session. I'm Akash, co-founder of app. Sorry that I won't be available during the intro session. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so if everybody has like any other questions, they can just ping me on Twitter or some my other Instagram or other handles. I would try my best to answer them. So we shall wrap up, I guess, Akash.
Yeah, I think we can wrap up.
Okay.